Look at my delicious dinner. Doesn't this look great? Raw, crunchy carrot sticks, broccoli, all these nice veggies. Oh, this is going to be so good. I could eat this all day. You know, today for lunch I went and had a nice plain lettuce salad with no dressing and a big glass of water. Doesn't that sound great? Well, you know what? It actually doesn't sound great. Why do we think that eating healthy has to be plain and boring? You know, it just doesn't have to be that way. You know, it really doesn't have to be that hard. We should be able to eat good food that we look forward to eating, that's full of flavor. It's just all about making the right choices and finding new substitutions and breaking old bad habits. You know, I'm not somebody who is just talking the talk. I have walked the walk. You know, when I was pregnant with my daughter, I actually gained 85 pounds. I was on bed rest for a long time. It was very difficult to lose that, and I constantly struggle with my weight going up and down, up and down. I have decided it's time to take charge of my life and to start living a more healthy lifestyle. You know, I want to go to a party. I want to have pizza. I want to make a cake and eat it too. I want to set a good example for my family. So I've decided to take control. I don't want to use that nasty four-letter word in my vocabulary anymore. You know the one? Diet. I don't want to do that. I just want to find a way so I can live my life healthy. So I have found substitutions and I've found new recipes that help me do just that. I hope that this recipe will inspire you and help you set off to start a new healthy day. Now, I don't know about you, but I absolutely love fettuccine Alfredo. But I'm not sure that's the right way to go if we're trying to incorporate healthy eating into our lifestyle. Alfredo is full of egg yolks, heavy rich cream, and cheese. Also, it's placed on plain white pasta. Well, that's not really the direction we want to go, but I don't want to give up that wonderful taste. So I created this nice, light, lemony dill cream sauce for our whole wheat pasta. On top of that, we're going to place a piece of, again, very healthy but delicious salmon. This way of preparing it is going to knock your socks off. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's start with the topping for our salmon because we need to get that in the oven. What we're going to do is start zesting a lemon. Now we need 1 to 2 lemons depending on the size. If they're this size, we need 2. We're going to use a lemon zester. I don't know if you've ever used one of these, but lemon zest gives so much flavor. It's not just like the lemon juice. It has just much more punch, much more kick. So we want to completely zest 2 lemons. To say, we're looking for lots of flavor in these recipes. I'm going to go ahead and put it into this bowl. Then I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of dehydrated dried onions. Next, I'm going to take my fresh parsley. Now folks, we got to use fresh ingredients. That's what makes this good and tasty. So I went and got this from my garden. I guess I'm very fortunate to have all this. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to start chopping this all up. I'm going to need a good 1/2 cup of chopped fresh parsley. Once I chop all that up, I'm going to put this into the bowl. Then I'm going to get my nice extra virgin olive oil, cover all of my ingredients, add a little bit of salt and a fresh grind of pepper, and we'll be ready to top our fish. Okay, now it's time to make our nice light lemony dill sauce. This is going to be so nice and creamy. First, we're going to start with our fat-free Philadelphia cream cheese. I'm going to use this 8-ounce tub. I'm just going to simply take a spoon and empty out all that creamy goodness right into a saucepan. Now, next to that, I am going to add 1 can, 12 ounces of evaporated skim milk. Now, as you see, I've already started off by not adding the fat, not adding the eggs or the butter. Now, I'm going to put this on the stove at low heat, and using a wire whisk, I'm going to incorporate all that cream cheese into that milk and make sure it's nice and melted before we proceed. Okay, now my cream cheese and my evaporated milk are well incorporated. Now it's time to add some flavor to kick it up a little bit. So what we're going to do is add about a good 1/2 cup of chopped fresh dill. Again, fresh is always the best. That's really going to add so much flavor to this dish. Again, I'm going to add the zest of 1 lemon, some fresh squeezed lemon juice, 1 to 2 cloves of crushed garlic. Try to make that fresh too. I think you're catching on. Fresh is the key. I want to add about a teaspoon of salt and some good grinds of some fresh pepper. I'm going to give this a stir. I'm going to get all that dill incorporated. And then I do want my sauce to be a little thicker. And that's usually why in the fettuccine alfredo they add the egg yolks, is to thicken it up a little bit. But I don't want to add all the extra cholesterol and fat. So I just took 1 tablespoon of cornstarch and put it in a tablespoon of water. Usually we would kind of do like a basic roux if we're wanting to do a cream sauce like this. But then I would have to add butter and some more flour. So I think that in this case, the cornstarch and water does quite well. I'm now going to put this back on the stove and heat it up and wait for the sauce to get nice and thick. Now let's talk a little bit about our pasta. We can really use any pasta we want to for this dish. I did choose a whole wheat pasta, again for the nutritional content and to get all that green and fiber in. I really found a pretty variety though that uses the natural colors of beets and carrots and spinach to color the pasta and make it really pretty. I think that's going to make this dish a little bit more exciting. So on the stove I have some water boiling with a little salt in it. I'm going to cook my pasta according to the manufacturer's directions. Okay, we're making progress here. Our fish came out of the oven and it looks just beautiful. I tested it to make sure it was done by flaking it with a fork and it looks nice and well cooked. I also finished cooking my pasta. I cooked mine to al dente stage, which is the way I like it. And I have it right here drained and into my pot. Now we're going to finish off our cream sauce. All we have to do at this point is to add a little of a chopped green onion. I like to add it at the very end when the sauce is warm because I really don't want it to cook down too much. It's kind of delicate, I think. I'm also at this point going to add some capers. I'm going to add about 1/2 cup, reserving a few to add on at the end. I'm going to mix that into my sauce and then just pour. Look how creamy that is, huh? Move over, creamy Alfredo. This is so much better and so good for you. You're never ever going to miss the high-fat other version. This goes so nice in the summer too, when the days are hot and you still want a pasta dish, but you want something that's kind of a little bit more on the lighter side. So I'm just going to use my pasta fork here and swirl my sauce around all those beautiful whole wheat noodles. Okay, so now I piled my pasta nice and high on a serving plate. All I have to do now is to pick up a piece of my beautifully baked salmon, which has all the nice parsley and the lemon peel on top. Place it right on top. We can add a few more capers if we would like to, just to garnish and to make it look beautiful. And perhaps a few slices of lemon. Now look how nice that looks. You know, you eat stuff like this and you're going to forget about all those high-fat foods. Let this be part of your new healthy lifestyle. Try to find new favorites. Use things like Philadelphia cream cheese to lighten up recipes and to replace heavy fats and creams in your regular recipes. I think you'll be surprised on how easy it really is to make healthy, good choices. I hope you try this recipe tonight, because I know you're going to enjoy it as much as I do.